Hello. It's been a little while, a full week I think, since the last starting out of a bit of a bad place, since the last episode, and I'm going to die before I can even get my intro off. Okay, let's not try to. It's because there's a laboratory course that has begun at university, and it's very exhausting. Like, I served my time in the army, and most days in the army weren't as exhausting as like a laboratory day, the average laboratory day. But probably because like, well, it's like two polar opposites. In the army, you like never use your brain for anything. It's been made like everything in the army has always been made so that you don't need to use your brain, so that like people of all intelligences can do it. But it's very physically exhausting, of course. But yeah, well, completely opposite in the laboratory, of course. And I think the kind of mental exhaustion, as I'm sure you can agree, is more exhausting than physical exhaustion. But enough about that. On today's agenda is to go and check out all of these red markers, which represent the points where we need the new ability we got, Claw Line. So the grappling hook spots. That's what we are going to be doing today. And if time allows, maybe we can start looking into the cockpit core. But I think there's quite a few of these. And the first place is, of course, here with the... What was this called? Pinmaster. Yeah, Pinmaster. But I stopped here because New is here. Hello. A welcome is grown up. Come to inspect the red rocky creatures like New. We have found a very big one. Fresh but not too fresh.
That's fine.
A pair of beasts attacked me here, burrowing through the stone with their spiral shells. I cut this one down and the other fled. Oh ma, really? New wishes that she had the pair. He could have studied much. Unlucky to miss such a big feast of learnings. She and her like have red rocky shells to protect their softness. Inside is very sweet. Very hard to crack them open though, so it's best to wait. It's always best to wait. I wonder if this is like the actually, I don't know what I'm comparing. I guess the Crystal Guardian fight, that the hook line here is going to lead to the other one. That's what I'm predicting. It's right there. One. Yep. Come on. And let's see if you have anything new to say, or maybe a bench for me. Yes. Were you doing this last time? I don't remember you moving around. What's this about? Back again, Needlebug. Surely you've more important places calling than these sandy steppes. I shan't stay long, Pinterest. Your home and your skills offer a sense of safety rare about these lands. Even my welcome has limits, Needlebug. I have become well accustomed to solitude, and it's unnerving to play house to your strange strength over long. Very well, very well. What do you have to think for yourself? Warriors proud in battles means I remember you, my sister's past. The flurried blade of the blades in swift, you were the finest, bravest cast. Youthful talents beyond compare. Okay, so you had other Pinteresses, sisters, who presumably died in battle or just otherwise died of a broadcast. Okay, that's your backstory. Seems like. Oh, nope. Yeah, you can see the red shells already walking through. I bet I'm going to fight the other one. Well, I'm not going to fight anything if I fall down. What did it... Do I need silk to do this? I do, yeah. Okay. Where do I go from here? There's nowhere to go. Do I also need... like surely those are there for a reason. Do I also need a double jump perhaps? I'm going to change this one to double jump. Or well, I would if I had more markers, but I'll just have to remember that one. I'll go back to check this when I have double jump. For now it doesn't seem like I can do anything there. Next one is all the way down here apparently. How might I... yeah, well, I'll see you down there if I can remember what my pause button was. I hotkeyed my buttons, like the one button to end and start recording is directly on top of my... it's page up and page down. So one of these is to pause the recording and one of these is to stop the recording. I wonder which was which. I'll just manually press pause, I guess. I'm not risking it. Okay, we're here. And this is one of those I have to pull up. What's in here? Oh, that's just one of those, I'm guessing. You're still alive. Huh. Another closed door. Seems like there's something, might be something actually interesting out there. Maybe this isn't just one of those. What are these called? I don't know. Spool fragments, yeah. Left and right to go. Uh-oh. Good thing I had that charm. Would died otherwise. Didn't matter though, because okay. Oh no, I'm still. Oh no. Okay. I don't have a lot of money, so whatever. So if I can help it, then yeah. There we go. Up. Oh yeah. Drops one on deck too. We can go to the left now, or we can go up, or we can go to the right. I'm going to go to the right first. No particular reason. Ow. That's what I meant to do. Okay, second to last shot. Last shot. You know, I've had some second thoughts about this whole YouTubing thing. Honestly, I kind of think that it's just not for me. I always thought it was a very easy thing to do, just play games and talk to the microphone, share your thoughts a little bit. It would be. I thought it would be fun. It hasn't been fun. As I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not fun. Maybe if you had like a community to interact with, and well, obviously I can't expect to have a community just from the get-go. That's not how this works. You need to keep making videos until people, like, eventually you get some regulars that start to watch the videos and they build up, and eventually you start to get exponential growth of your channel and so on, and then you get to have a community. That's how it's supposed to work, of course. But, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to quit or not. Maybe it might be worth it to stick around and maybe someday have like a community, kind of. If like a lot of people expect me to upload videos, then yeah, of course I would be much more motivated to make videos, I think. But it's kind of like I'm taking away from my own gameplay experience to give to someone else, like the people watching it. But there's no one watching it, except by like one person. I appreciate you, by the way, very much, the one person who is watching this, but yeah, we'll see. Might be that I'm just tired in general. Well, no, it has been this the whole time. I guess some people really do find this kind of easy, just constantly babble on. for good or bad. Some people just have the talent for that. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm still alive. To remember. I need to remember to wait a little while for the silk to regenerate before I can use the ability again. That's what's getting me. This looks like a fighting arena. Yeah, it is. A gauntlet? Yeah. That didn't last long. Other than just endurance, then I think I lack quite a few of like the other kind of qualities that a good YouTuber would have. Probably the only thing that I do have is like attention to detail, I guess. If even that. So many like YouTubers are enjoyable to listen to. They make like constant commentary and some jokes and such, but they don't focus on the lore. But like I focus on the lore, but I don't have anything else going for me really. I'm not really like enjoyable to listen to, like just like my voice. I know that, but I don't make jokes. I do make jokes in my native language, but I haven't really mastered it making like casual jokes in English really. Another thing is that speaking just takes too much of my focus. Maybe it is like speaking and like a foreign language. And it takes so much more of my focus than like speaking a native language would. I'm sure that would go away with just like more speaking. As I get more and more used to the language, it will take less and less of my focus to be constantly speaking it. Still though, my life isn't going to get any less exhausting in the future, so I don't know if I really have time for this kind of thing. I don't really have like the kind of energy that I should have for this even now. And what it'll be like in the future, I wonder. Probably not going to get very far here. Oh yeah, I was wondering why the enemies were dying so much last time. There was steam there. Huh. Maybe something like coffee would help. I don't know. I've just never wanted to get addicted to coffee. Maybe I just... Man, I'm tired. I figured I was feeling kinda like scarf today. That's not a word in English. What's it called? Like not like I have energy, but more like that I'm like focused on like. It's really not a word for it in English that I can think of. But anyway, because of that, like it remained after the laboratory that kind of state of mind. So I figured that this might be a good time to finally get some progress done with the Silksong. But evidently not. I can't focus on anything. Brain is completely exhausted. Like, can't really stop recording either, can I? But also I'm kind of recording for nothing since nothing is happening. I'm just far too exhausted to play video games at the moment. Well, it's a good thing that nothing important is happening. People are just going to... If anyone actually watches this, they are just going to skip through this until like something happens. I know I do that when watching YouTubers. I just like skip to when something lore relevant happens on the video. I'm not going to actually watch this. That at least kind of gives me some peace of mind that no one is like, actually going to listen to these ramblings or watching this sad gameplay of me like desperately trying to focus on the game, and I'm way too tired to be playing video games. It's not like it's not late. It's evening, but it's not late. The kind of mental exhaustion. Like it's not the kind of mental exhaustion that you can encounter in like school. Nothing in school comes even close to this kind of tiredness that I'm feeling right now. Not when I had to like go all night reading to exams. I wasn't this tired. Okay, now I'm getting somewhere. I have a little bit of health going into the fight this time, so if I just shut up and focus on the games, then I might survive. Okay, just barely. Up! Okay. I just barely survived that. What's my reward? A bench, hopefully. Shortcut into somewhere. Oh, it's one of these. Hello. A wolf. But you know, if you're like scratching your head, like questioning to yourself as to why the hell did I decide to record in the first place if I was so like ungodly tired? But it's just kind of like it's been a long while. I meant to record in the weekend, but I had too much stuff to do in the weekend. Who the hell are you? The stuff that I had put off for the week due to being too tired to do it. I had to do it in the weekend, so I didn't have time to record. And I feel like I can't really have like too long of a pause in the game, or otherwise I'm going to just forget what happened. Bench? Anywhere? Maybe? Please? Is that a shortcut, maybe? Please? I beg? Bench? What is this? Where am I? Okay, well I could heal at least. Have I been here? I have been here. I'm not gonna fight the spear guy. It just ran off. Okay, I guess. Well, I suppose that's that done. Let's go tick this one off too. Okay, well I died. Guess that gets me closer to my destination. To the right of here. That is lava. Great. That is also lava. Astute observation. Feels like there's an NPC up here. Or at least a house. It looks like one of those flies. Yeah. The beast flies, the one that I hated. Well, not nice. Actually, it looked more like a skull of a grub fly from Hollow Knight. Masks. Okay. Sadistic level design as always. Love to see it. Let's just over down. That's go down, but I can go up here. Crafting materials, okay. Else. Okay. Place reminds me of the Abyss. Interestingly enough, I wasn't expecting this when I came here. Oh hey, a solid platform. It really gives Abyss vibes. There's no music or anything either. Just a long drop down. For the first time in this playthrough, I like genuinely hope that there isn't anything like interesting lore-wise down here, because I might miss some details because of how tired I am. Damn it. Where am I? You've rested here. Can I maybe like talk about my army days or something like that to fill the silence, make the video more interesting to watch? Or does that seem just like there's been a little bit of mix on both when watching like YouTubers. I feel like some YouTubers like talk way too much about completely unrelated stuff. What is this? Talk way too much about completely unrelated stuff. Like it feels like they aren't focusing on the game at all. They just keep like talking about their personal life or whatever is going on in the world at the moment, or like barely mention the game at all while playing. And they still play alright, which is an ability that I'm starting to kind of envy right now. But still. And then there's those that refuse to share absolutely anything about themselves. Which, of course, is their right. I mean, you can't obligate someone to tell you everything or anything about themselves, about their personal life. But sometimes I just feel like knowing a little bit of something, like someone who I'm watching, makes me like more invested in the video, I guess, like, or yeah, I guess so. Or more about the channel, like. If you really think about it, it's all about like the, where have I gone? All about like the parasociality, sociality. Watching videos, that is, and posting comments and interacting that way. You want to have like friends. You want to well, you want to be social, as is human instinct, and that's why you enjoy like posting comments and that closes. Posting comments and Twitch in particular, or streamers. But like people enjoy just watching someone stream, even if it's not particularly a topic that they like enjoy. It's they enjoy hanging out in streams, talking with other people in chat, and talking to the streamer too. You know, I completely forgot what I was talking about originally. How did I come to Why did I come to this topic? I forgot. I was going to make a point here. I was going to make some kind of point, but I forgot what point I was going to make. This seems kinda... Huh? Please don't tell me it's not one more beast flies. At least it's the normal beast flies. If it's going to be another one of those like big beast fly, savage beast flies, I'm going to actually perish. I'm going to cease existence. These ads are really giving me bad flashbacks. Did I even remember to... Yeah, I did at least bench here. I guess the one in the Weaver then would be a better bench, I guess. I think I began the discussion with like asking about whether I should talk about my army days or something. It's in case you don't know, Finland has like conscription, as you call it. So every man that when they come of age, they have to serve either in the army or in like the civil service, which is like, I'm not actually sure what it's about, really. Do you like work in a library or something? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's about, but I think most people choose the army, if not for anything else, like excitement or something, but because it like it takes less time. Like the civil service is always like almost a full year, when the army at its shortest is half a year. But anyway, anyone who has gone into the army likes to talk about it to a very annoying degree. I think it's called like Inti stories in English, the phenomenon of needing to talk about your time in the army even when the other person really isn't interested about hearing about it. Because they've already heard the stories from you or someone else 1,000 times already. It's a really an issue when so many people have gone to the army here. Especially among like women who typically, not always, but typically aren't very interested to hear about your shooting range achievements or about your long march that you had to suffer through, the war camps that you had to suffer through. It's not really something to talk about at family gatherings either. All the shooty stuff, preparing for war and whatnot. Even though that it typically tends to be the case that it tends to get brought up once or twice per family gathering. I'm not going to talk about indie stories right now though. Need to focus for this. Going to lock in, as they say. Right. Use that. Wait. I am not dead yet. Oh yeah, of course I had the charm. Oh, the lava is okay. Well, oh, you can't grab onto the walls. Okay. Well, I like that at least more than fighting a damn savage beast fly again. Anything but that. There we go. Start. thought like... Okay. That's what I meant to do. For once. Almost saved it, but did not. Of course you're here. Had to be here. That was just controller lag. I did press hook climb. I guess my control is under my tape. But so is my computer. I don't know. The control. I'm playing with the controller for this one. I'm doing it just this once. I managed to condense the two most common excuses used by gamers into one sentence. Controller lag. Not just the controller, it's not just the lag, it's controller lag. That's probably not even a thing. I meant that I pressed the hook climb, but it just... The command didn't go through, I guess. I feel like the hook line is pretty essential in this fight. Why does everything have to do double damage, man? Okay, here we go. I love how video game this is, by the way. Like, what's the lore explanation for this? I went into run, so like a bit and like hit a rock, and now the entire place floods with lava. And not before I fought off a gauntlet of enemies. It's as video game as it gets. It has no. Yeah. What's that? I just randomly like one-shot him. Why? I noticed that like, a few times before that I just randomly one-shot enemies. Do I have like a perk that does that? Or like a charm or something? No, not really. Why is that happening? Is there like a passive perk of the Wanderer thing? Something? But yeah, speaking of crests, I remember that I needed to go back to Eva because we got the new crest. Maybe that will be the last thing we do this episode. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's see. Actually, has it been an hour already? I'm looking at my dishwasher. Like I put a 3-hour program into it, and now it's out. It has an hour and 12 minutes. Hasn't been that long already, has it? Would be another kind of place where double jump would be just great. Come on. That's what I meant to do, but I guess it worked out. How long have I been recording anyway? 52 minutes. Yeah, I guess this is the last thing I'll do. I'll just have to power through this, I guess. I'll just go to sleep. It's not even that late. It's what, 8 p.m. I guess. I'm just so tired, man. I did say most days in the army when I was like referencing how tiring this laboratory thing it was. It was more tiring than most days in the army, but there were days, I'll say. Now the indie stories begin. There was one day when I was I was basically like guarding a site where the rest of the company was doing stuff, and it was the middle of winter, minus 20 degrees as usual, and well, I just had to like walk circles around the site to guard it, I guess. Even though there wasn't like any prospect of simulated enemy attack on the place, I just had to guard it. Walk around circles for the site without food and pretty minimal water for like what was it, like 8 hours straight, I guess. Just walk in a big circle around the site for 8 hours. It wasn't actually all that cold. I get warm because I had to constantly walk and I was properly dressed for the weather, but man, that was kind of tiring. But not as tiring as the time I had to march. Not just like leisurely stroll around the site unsupervised. I had to march for 13 hours in +4 wet degree, +4 Celsius of course degree, wet weather in rain. In the middle of the night after being woken up and dragged from my bed in the middle of sleep. I was forced to walk for 13 hours straight. That was kinda ass. That is probably the worst experience of my whole life, that one. I mean, there were some cool parts to it. We began that march by running through fire. It was kinda cool, but other than that, it was kind of just walking in a pitch black forest, completely soaked wet because I was dragged from my bed, so I didn't really have like, unlike the time I was guarding the camp and I was like properly prepared for the task, and other than the fact that I forgot food, but otherwise prepared for the task, at least clothing wise. That time I was just dragged from my bed. I had just a little bit of time to put on clothes. I didn't know what I was going into, and so I didn't have anything to hold out the rain. I had like, I didn't put on enough layers. I was just freezing the entire walk. I even had to like swim through a pond at one time, at one point. The barracks were a very interesting sight after that after that day. Like for most of the the following day after that, like people were just in bed sleeping. At least command do not to like put any activities for the day. It was just off for the entire day. And everyone was just like lying in bed, completely exhausted and tired. It was kind of funny. I hear some people like really like the experience. Like, if not during the experience, then at least afterwards. I did not. This is by the way what I mean by like the annoying Inti story. Inti is what the period of like the period where you're forcibly conscripted into the army is called. It's Inti. But this is what I mean by the Inti stories. It's not really a story. It's just like, I did this. I had to suffer through this. I did this and I did that, and it's not a very entertaining story, but more like more just boasting, really. Man, I am playing like ass. So just focus a bit again. That actually got me thinking a bit about what really makes a story. At what point does an experience become like a actual story? In the army, there were like quite a few things that like there was like one thing that was out of order or like worth telling. One time where we had to like march to an actual like torrential rainfall. If you watch like Rain World, then it's like kind of like that rain. It was raining so hard that I could not see forward. Like I didn't see drops of rain, I saw streaks of rain. And it was so all-encompassing that like one just couldn't see forward. It was raining that much. But that's just during the raid we marched. It was a very short march. We just marched to the place where we eat. Just like it's like a kilometer. Basically, it wasn't anything major that time, but daily thing really. But the petty officer, I think it's petty officer in English or what? United States Army ranks. The petty officer, like the person who is like what 3 ranks above recruit, I think. Not corporal. No, not corporal, but not sergeant, but like the 1 rank under sergeant. Those are the people that like lead the marching formations anywhere and command squads along with actual sergeants. And when we are marching, the sergeant shouts like one actually no, it shouts like left in rhythm, signifying when your left foot should touch the ground. So you go left in Finnish, of course, but his voice like completely gave out and turned into like a preschool girl's voice, and he just kept shouting left, one with that. Yeah, no one was able to keep like a straight face around that. It was a very funny march, even though we were all pissed off that we had to march in such a torrential rainfall. But still, that's only like to go back to my initial point. That's only like that's like only 2 things that were funny in an incident, I suppose, that happened to me once. Is that a story? Could that be called a story, or was that just like an incident that happened? Like a little happening, not really worth calling a story. Maybe worth telling in some scenarios. I'm not sure it would be worth telling in this scenario. I guess it is. I guess I have to talk about something to make things interesting, don't I? I guess I could also just shut up and focus and like move the game along. I'm not dying on purpose, I promise, but I could be focusing more. Okay, let's do that this time. Hold on. I'm going to take a few breaths. Focus. Maybe I'll win this fight. Okay, let's go. I guess not. Even focus, even at my full focus, nothing came of it. I guess I'm just too tired. Yes, that's the excuse this time around. You can never admit that you're just bad at the game. You have to always come up with some kind of excuse. Everyone has such a fragile little ego. Can't admit that you're bad at the game. Always has to be some kind of excuse. The game lagged, even though it's not even an online game. The controller was bad, even though it's the best money you can buy. I mean, honestly, this is shitty controller. I'm not sure it's the best money you can buy, but it's the I'm using the Xbox Series S Elite controller, I think. Like, it was the best that I could get for the console I had. I'm playing on computer now, and this controller is quite old, I suppose, but still, it's supposed to be a quality controller. At least I know it costs way more than it actually like costs to make. One health and a dream, as they say. Have to not get hit, not fall in the lava. Easy, right? Oh, come on, the platform got eaten by the lava just as I was going to go through. Pogo off of it. That's just bad luck. Here we are again. Hopefully for the last time. Probably not. What? Oh. Ah, I was so close. Next time is the last time, definitely. Last time. Let's go. Definitely the last time, this time around. Surely. Surely it's the last time around and I don't have to suffer through this again. Surely. Well, I'll be damned. Maybe it is the last time. Oh, I went the wrong way! I just remembered it's this way. Okay, hey, I made it. All for a single mask shot. You know, I feel in this game, this looks like a breakable wall, but I feel like in this game the mash shards and the spool fragments are like a bit too hard to get. Like they're locked behind pretty difficult gauntlets, or maybe it's just difficult because I'm bad at the game. Who knows? But I've really had to work for them, you know. But anyway, that's that finally done, so I can end the episode. Guess I should go save first, but yeah, until next time. If you are watching these like as they get uploaded, then you might have to wait for a little while for the next episode, because I'm really tired every single day. And will continue to be so for the duration of this laboratory course, which will be the next 3 weeks still. So yeah, until next time, whenever that is going to be.